All right, we are live. Welcome to Beyond the Page, everyone. We're so glad you're here. I'm Jennifer Crosswhite, book coach and editor, and I'm with Stephanie Fager, author, marketer, empowerer extraordinaire.
And I'm the one that needs a haircut, and Jen just got an amazing one. So
Right.
We were talking
There we
about that
go.
before we went live.
We talked about hair instead of coffee. I have to say, I do not have a coffee mug this morning. I have ice water because I'm hot.
I don't know. Did I show you this one? Have I shown
I
this
did
one?
not see this one yet.
So when I was pulling out my tea mug today, I was like, oh, I have a feeling I have not shown this one. So it is a mug from my alma mater, Bellarmine University, which some people may or may not know or have heard of Bellarmine. When I went to Bellarmine, nobody knew about it. It was Bellarmine College for a long time, a couple years before I started going and became a university. But this last year, it kind of made national news because basketball at Bellarmine, we always used to say Bellarmine, like we would tell freshmen, like go to the football game or whatever. And there's no football team. So, we very small college university in the city of Louisville, but very, very prestigious in the market. Mm-hmm. Anyways, this past year, their basketball team had made a pivot to a D1, and they should have been able, they won all their things. Act like I know sports, Jen. I don't know, but my husband does. They won all their conferences, and they should have gone to March Madness, which is really big in the part of the country I live in. And because they hadn't been a D1 school for more than X number of years, they didn't get in. And so all of us here were like, no, but it was big because this, my little college, this has just been a big deal for us. So it's been fun. And yeah, I kind of hold it and hug it tight because that's where I met my husband. Bellarmine has just a really wonderful place in my heart. And anyways, yeah, so I pulled it out today. I'm
fantastic. I love that. It reminds me, I have no mugs from my alma maters. I might have to rectify that.
We might have to fix that, Jen.
They're within driving distance. I could drive and just visit not that the campuses look anything like they did when I was there many years
ago. My gosh. When I went to Bellarmine, we had, I think it was a 9-hole golf course on campus.
Oh, fun.
Okay, now the campus is nestled in the middle of the city. So it's kind of crazy. And then Bellarmine has grown so much. They've turned it into parking lots. It makes me so sad. But funny story. I was my husband's freshman orientation leader.
Oh, funny.
Yeah, I led the orientation program for a couple of years. And I just giggle when I tell the kids and look back at it all about how you just never know.
You never know. You never know. I love how life just has a way of bringing together the people in your life that you need. And I think that is lots of fun.
Yeah, for a reason and a season. And I actually was talking to someone the other day about how, I know this has nothing to do with Amazon, but how the importance of realizing that sometimes the season concludes and that's okay too.
Yes.
That you can embrace and be thankful for the season you had.
Yes.
And move on, right? Then that's okay.
Mm-hmm. That's true. It's very true. It's a good life lesson.
You came into my life for a season or with a reason in this important season, right? Let's just embrace all this. But our seasons won't end.
No, we're not. No. But there are times, right, where there are things, and especially in the book world, I think about my whole book journey, people that I knew at the beginning, when I thought I was going in one direction and now I'm not in that direction. And sometimes I run into those people at conferences. Sometimes I've met people who were really into writing and then they're done with it. It's a lot of work, and I get it. It's a lot of work and it's a lot of commitment. And sometimes people say that, again, that was my writing for my season and I'm glad I did it, but now I'm on to other things. And it's true. So it's true. You don't necessarily have to. I was thinking about a client today. She wrote one book and that was really the one book she wanted to write. And I don't know that she has a desire to write any other book. She just had this thing on her heart. She wanted to get it out there. And so that is perfectly fine. I think sometimes in the writing world, we talk a lot about everybody has to make writing a career and it has to be
a
big thing.
You don't.
And it really doesn't. And if that's not you and it's not what you necessarily want or what works with your life, it's okay. And so I think that sometimes we have to kind of put this disclaimer that this is not, we're not saying you have to do this like full bore everything. No. It's just, here's some ideas. Let's, you know, pick the things that work for you, and then leave the rest that doesn't. And that's okay. So more and more I'm learning to try to remember to advise people. Everybody is in a different space, a different season. You're wired differently. So take this information with a grain of salt, adapt it, take what works for you, get rid of stuff that doesn't work for you. So
and you know, Jen, you know, you and I are chronic authors, which is a beautiful thing, but also, you know, I was doing an affirmation this morning and I was reminded about the importance of like, you are enough and you don't need to look at other people or other things as to compete with. And I think that, you know, in our industry, it's really easy to go, oh my gosh, well, but they just put out another book. I need to do it. Or, oh my gosh, they're doing this marketing effort and I need to do it. I always say, I just came back from the mountains last week. And you know this because I called you because I like, that's what I just did. I cranked out 12,000 words of this book you were about to edit. But it was one of those things where I'm up there and I'm realizing we were hiking up this mountain and it was really freaking hard. I was like covered in sweat from head to toe. It was awful, but it was great. You know, that wonderful, awful greatness. And I kept thinking, if I looked up, the way we went up the mountain was 600 stairs. I didn't realize it was that. We found later, you know, so it was like big terrain and then 600 stairs. The only way up is to look down, like just watch your movement, just take a step. And so if that means you've written a book and that book is your life and you can just suck all the juiciness, awesomeness from it, do it. If you have this like internal desire to do something else and do more, do that. Like, but realize you know, like you are made to do you, like you were given a gift of gifts of skills to do you. You don't have to do what everybody is doing.
So true. There's a lot of comparisonitis and it's really easy because you see there's book rankings and bestseller lists and all that. And yet I was thinking about this today. You don't actually know all of the story behind those numbers and how they got them and what went into all of that, all those kinds of things. They're not just pure, like the best books don't necessarily make the bestseller list, right? So that comparisonitis is very, very real. And it can be a huge challenge to not be comparing yourself to what everybody else is doing. And so, yes, it is really... It is. You have to just kind of, what is my next step? What's the next thing I want to do? I think I love it. I love that it is like climbing a mountain, or like I like to say, it's like eating an elephant. You know, you're just doing, because it's a massive thing and it can be overwhelming and it can be discouraging. So good advice. Well, let's talk about.
You never know what we're going to do, what we're going to talk about.
You never know. All sorts of interesting things happen when we get together. But we will talk about Amazon's affiliate program. And I will say, in general, there are a lot of affiliate programs out there for like software that you might use, programs, graphic design programs, whatever, right? If you have some that you love, see about being part of their affiliate program. And that way, when you refer it to other authors or other people that you know, you get a little, you know, commission.
A little thank you. I call it a little thank you.
It's just a little something. I mean, I don't make a ton of money off of my affiliate stuff. Some people do. Some people are very intentional about this and they put out a lot of information and they do make a lot of money. I mean, there are bloggers that is how they make their money, is from the affiliate of the product they offer. But I get enough to buy books. I mean, I love books, right? So
can I just say, like, the concept of affiliate feels icky to me, just like in general, because I want to tell you to do something because I believe it. And I'm like, God, Jen, you got to go get this because I believe in it and I know it'll change your life. And so for many years, I ignored the options of affiliates because I didn't want someone to think I was recommending something because I was getting something. And then I sat in that for a minute and thought, that's okay. But on the flip side, like, you can do it that way. But on the flip side, you can still really believe in something and tell people, as long as you're upfront and say, I want you to know, hands down, best decision, you must do this. Now, I would tell you this whether or not this is in existence, but the reality is this software, this platform, whatever, has an affiliate program. I signed up for it because I believe in it so much.
Yep.
And I'm going to tell you, it's that disclaimer that I'm going to tell you, there is like, I'm not getting rich quick on this, but they do thank me for promoting it. And I think another way to kind of rest in it too is many of those programs that offer affiliates don't spend much money on advertising, that they embrace word of mouth marketing. And that actually tells you something, because they're not out there paying and dishing all these dollars to get in front of you in the same way. They're allowing their users to tell the people, because that speaks volumes. So, I mean, for those out there who are listening today and just saying, oh, the concept of an affiliate, the concept of somebody paying me or giving me a commission, or I call it a referral thank you or something, feels icky. Just know that that actually means that you are like representing them. So like if you believe in it, why wouldn't they? Like, thank you for investing in me to promote it, and then investing in ad dollars to promote it individually.
Well, and I agree. And there are definitely some people that this is how they, like I said, there's bloggers. This is how they make their money. You see this a lot around like Amazon Prime Day and things like that. And you obviously have to trust who you're getting the information from, things like that. But you do have to have a disclaimer based on the FTC in your newsletter or on your website that says links in here might be affiliate links, so people are aware of that. But the nice thing is affiliate links don't cost the user anything. They don't. And so it gives this person, that's referring it to you, they get a little extra money, but nobody, doesn't.
And sometimes the person referring gets something. So for instance, there's a couple programs that I absolutely love. I use Square a lot, and I think a lot of authors should embrace Square because it gives you the ability to run credit cards from your phone. Don't ever not have a way to collect digital money from someone who wants to pay you. So what I love about Square is if I refer it to somebody, they give the person a discount. So not only does the person get a discount on, I think it's like your first $1,000 for free over a certain amount of money, meaning for free, no
transaction fees.
But they also do that to me. So then I get another $1,000 of transactions with no fees connected to it. I'm like, that's awesome. Or Dubsado is a program I use. They have a referral. And then Amazon, obviously, as someone who loves books, this is my favorite part, Jen. You can actually refer your own book, and Amazon will pay you a referral thank you through their associate program, the Amazon Associates or Amazon Affiliates.
Yeah. So this is the cool thing about Amazon is that you're not limited to just books. So most affiliates, they sell one product, right? The main product, and that's what you're referring. But Amazon, of course, you can refer the whole store. So it's fantastic. So here's the cool thing about it. And their program is called Associate Central. If you're interested, you can go in. Where did I put the link?
I always just Google Amazon affiliates every time.
It's affiliate like a dash, short dash program.amazon.com. But if you put Amazon affiliate, you'll find it, right? And it gives you a little code. And once you're signed up, anytime you go to an Amazon page, there's a little link, short link.
Like a new bar.
You click on it, it automatically copies this little short link, or you can do a longer link with a picture of the item, and you can just plop that in, and it's fantastic. It's a super easy way just to refer, but it's on every single page. So you can refer an Instant Pot, or your favorite pen, not only your books, other books. So a couple ways authors use this is you can put that special link in the back of your book, right? So if you say, hey, here's the next book in the series, that's the link. And then when you go to your Amazon associate, not only do you get money, but you can track how many times does that link get hit? Is that an active link? Is that working well? Also, once they click on your link, I think as long as they're in the Amazon in the next 24 hours, anything else they buy in the store, you get credited for. So it's not just the one product, it's everything else. So you can go in and see what are people buying. I just went in mine earlier And of course, people are buying books, right? They buy my book, but then they buy other books, which is fair.
Yeah.
You know, I love that.
Yeah.
But like around Prime Day, for example, or whenever there's some holiday or something, you could say other things, right? You could, if you have a blog, you could blog about time saving. When I'm under a deadline, these are the meals I make for my family. And then you could link to a lot of different Amazon products that you use, like your Instant Pot or whatever, right? People click on that, then they can add that, or favorite gifts for writers, those kinds of things. So the one caveat, though, that you have to be a little aware of is definitely read the Amazon terms of service. Like, no matter whatever program you're in, read the details. I know it's a pain.
It is.
Do it anyway.
Yes, she'll be thankful.
Amazon has a little caveat that you cannot put those links in a newsletter, which seems really strange, right? That's the most likely place you would put it. So what you do is you put a link to your website, like a redirect, and then it pops right over. It's a little bit of a technology thing, but it works.
You mentioned the website, and that's honestly my first thing is always when you go, I think your website should be the funnel to the books, okay? Because we want people to know more about you. So when you're out there promoting your book, it's also easier for you to just say, go to stephaniefeger.com or go to colortodayprint.com, right? It's easier. And then you have any link that you want someone to purchase. That's your affiliate link. You make sure that that's the affiliate link, as long as you have a disclaimer. And usually disclaimer is a separate, really simple page on the website that has that they hyperlink to on the bottom. If you do that, you'll follow Amazon's affiliate program guidelines. And so then you should, in my opinion, you should always be driving people back to your website. Now, some marketers will tell you that too many steps lose people.
Right.
So you make sure then maybe the step is directly to the book page, not the website as a whole in your newsletter. But that is weird about the newsletter. Who cares?
And honestly, I know people that have different feelings about it. Some people like, who cares? Are they really going to check? Some people are like, oh no, I've heard you lose your Amazon affiliate account, blah, blah, blah. So
I've heard of that.
You know, I'm a rule follower. So I tend to do what you do. I tend to send people to my website anyways. And then the book table links in there are to the Amazon, or some of my books are on other stores, so people can choose if they'd like to go to Kobo or Barnes and Noble or Apple or whatever, right? And they all have affiliate programs too. So if you're going to do that, grab all those, because once you set them up, then they're in there and you just don't ever have to think about it. But I want people to sign up for my newsletter. I want them, if they're new to me, I want to be able to capture them, as we've talked about, the importance of newsletters and being able to have that direct relationship with your readers is so important. So
and we'll have to do a future episode on it. You have a really cool way that you navigate your newsletters, and I love learning about like this. How you do segmentation and all these journeys you put people on. That always like excites me as a marketer.
Oh my goodness, right? So that is a whole. We should definitely talk about that. That is the autoresponder sequences that I've set up, and I actually have more stuff. Okay, let me just, little side note. We're storytellers, right? Use your newsletter to tell stories. That's what people want from you, right? They don't want buy my book, buy my book, buy my book. But if they're wrapped into your world and you're giving them extra behind the scenes stuff that nobody else gets, like how cool is that? So
I love that you just said that. And another aside, I know I alluded to this book I'm working on. It's so exciting, Jen. The more I talk about it out loud means the more it's gonna happen. I know. And then we're so close. But I was telling my husband why I'm having so much fun writing this book. And it's a for those listening, you'll probably be interested in it. It is a book to help authors market their books. It really is kind of the heart of everything I've done in my career in book marketing. But it's a storytelling book. And it is, I told my husband, I said, this is so much fun for me to write because it's about learning through storytelling, and it just gets me all excited. So I love what you said, because it's true. People connect to people. People connect and remember things based on stories. It's like a top 10 list. I mean, there are some people who need that very direct, very clear direction. But you'll likely remember long term, after the top 10 list like falls off your board and, you know, gets all crumply and you lose it, you're going to remember the stories, and you're going to remember how things make you feel. And I think that, you know, I think that also aligns with where I just, you know, started out talking about how affiliate links make me feel icky. They don't have to. If you explain it and you help people realize the story behind you recommending this. You know, if you're somebody that uses the Amazon affiliate link every morning, a certain time, here's my favorite thing, go buy it. That's very transactional. But authors are relational. Yes. By nature.
And how fun, like when I do a book launch, I reward people on my street team, you know, I do a little drawing, and I always try to find something fun little book writing related thing for them. And there are novelties, there are literary tea, but there's like Jane Austen tea. It's a certain blend that's supposed to be like Jane Austen. And there's different there's different tea blends that are based on different books. I mean, how fun is that?
That is so cool.
Those are fun things I would totally share. Not only, you know, hey, I'm giving this away to someone on my street team, but I would share it with people in my newsletter. You know, obviously they have to bounce back to my website, but blog post, however you want to do it, right? You can do a newsletter to a blog post. But that would be the kind of thing I would share. Look at this fun thing, or look at this fun mug, or look at this bookmark that looks like an old library card, or whatever little fun, that stuff that doesn't feel transactional. It feels very much like, I found this thing, I want to share it with you because we like the same things. This would be so exciting. Or I mean, you could get crazy with this, but you could have, you know, your characters. In fact, I remember a long time ago in Writer's Digest, there was an article about using copyrighted names, and the whole thing was like a satire. Every single product he mentioned was like a brand name copyrighted, like my Coca-Cola in my Levi's sitting in my Barca lounger. You know, like you had this whole thing. It was kind of making the point, like you can, obviously you can way overdo it a little bit, you know, but you could, again, say, hey, this is the little, you know, so-and-so in my story, use this amazing whatever thing. If you're interested, here it is. You know,
my God,
that's a fun way to bring that together.
You gave me an idea. I'm going to have to write it down, but this thing's recorded, Jen. I can remember. We can go back and look at it. You know, while you're writing a book and about to launch it, you could also put together the things that you experience in doing that. Right. So it's like, here's the mug that I drink out of and the tea I drink out of. And do you want to, like, I was in the forest. So is there something forest related, or there, you know, whatever. You could put together a little thing so people feel what that's like. And I really, truly believe that all of us are equal and the same and amazing, but there's something special about authors, and the world seems to think us authors are pretty darn cool. I know we are pretty darn cool. And understanding how our brains work to pull together is also interesting. So you could do it with your characters, like a fun bundle that like helps you dive into your characters, or you as the author. You know, like, so I talk about a rock in a part of my process, and there could be something fun with that. Anyways,
there's lots. I mean, there's ways to do it. I mean, we have imagination. Use your imagination, have fun with it. You make a little extra money on the back end. Fantastic. But again, like you said, think about how you are connecting with your readers, how you're providing them a service, how there's something there that's beyond just transactional. You want to deepen that relationship. You don't want them to feel like, oh, you're just doing this to make money, right? It should be kind of a reason behind it.
We live in a world of abundance. If you give value, you will get value. If you give value, you will have book sales. And you know, all of that is very interconnected. Well, speaking about book sales, I know there's something regularly people ask me about, and we're going to talk about it next week. You have way more experience in Amazon ads than I do, mainly because that's just never where my marketing brain goes first. But you've been writing books for a while, so I'm really excited for us to get like an inside glimpse from your perspective.
We'll talk about that.
The complicatedness.
It's a little complicated. We will talk about overall philosophy, when you should, when you shouldn't, where to go to get resources, and the idea that it's a long game. This is not a put some money in it, see a return the next day. No.
Mm-hmm.
So
I love
it. That will be an exciting thing to talk about next week. I'm super excited about that. Okay. Favorite book today. Line from book. So I think I shared this before. I'm working on really great book, particularly for people in anytime you're putting yourself out and becoming vulnerable. And so it's fantastic. Of course, as authors, that's what we're doing. We make ourselves very vulnerable. We're putting our thoughts out to the world. And so I love the back cover copy on this. It's just one of the best lines. And she says, every time we're introduced to someone new, try to be creative, or start a difficult conversation, we take a risk. And that's so true. Putting your words out there, it is such a risk. We feel uncertain and exposed. We feel vulnerable. Most of us try to fight those feelings. We strive to appear perfect. But in a powerful new vision, Dr. Brené Brown challenges everything we think we know about vulnerability and dispels the widely accepted myth that it's a weakness. She argues that vulnerability is in fact a strength, and we shut ourselves off from revealing our true selves. We grow distance from things that bring us purpose and meaning to our lives. And I will say there are so many writers who stopped writing because they got afraid, because they got rejection. And so I would just encourage authors to pick up that book and look at it, because there is just, you are being very vulnerable, and it takes a lot of courage to do that. And I would just encourage you to keep going. The world does need to hear what you have to say.
Yeah. And a risk. I always ask myself, is it riskier to do it or not?
Yes. Right. There's a risk if you don't do it as well. It goes both ways. So
it really
grab
does.
her book. I love what she has to say in there. There's some great stuff. And I'm taking my time wandering through the book. I'm 2/3 of the way done. Okay. Well, like we said, next week we are going to talk about Amazon ads.
Yay.
Fun. Who knows what else we'll talk about?
I know
what'll come up.
Maybe I'll have a haircut by then.
Who knows, right?
We'll talk about that one.
Yes. So authors, I want to remind you that your words have power, your book has power, your message has power. And we invite you to take that message to the page and beyond. Have a wonderful rest of your day. We'll see you guys next week. Bye-bye.
See you next week. Bye.